Too quick on the gun, my brother.
Okay. All right.
Too quick on Hey fans, every time before we get ready to start the show, I play it and you gotta wait for the beat to drop, bro.
I wait 3 seconds.
No, it'd be like 8 bars into the intro. He'd be like, "You not gonna play the intro, bro?"
I'll be like the little monkey me like.
Like, bro, where the intro at? Like, I got you. We ain't even here record yet, but we here, we live, we back. Actually, our first time doing this in
a week?
Since Thursday, Friday, so that's good. Shout out to all of the Chief Dreamers out there. Your boy is doing well. Channel's getting close. Hopefully we'll hit 50,000 views in a month. Tomorrow we up to 815 subscribers. We gained 24 in the last 28 days. Keep running it up. Shout out to all of y'all out there, man. We appreciate it. Yeah. Eventually we're gonna have to. Eventually, the way we're gonna have to gain fans is the way you're not gonna want to do it. We're gonna have to go live. That's only we're gonna have to go.
No, I'm not against that.
We're gonna have to do them live. We're gonna have to do them live.
I'm not against that.
That's gonna be the best way to gain fans is for us to do these live and then chop them up as always after. That's the way I usually build stuff. But shout out to the fans. I know we've been flooding the market with so much content. Y'all know what to do. But if you're one of those few people, like I actually enjoy this because this is like watching them videos go from no views to 7 to 10. Eventually, when they get to the hundreds and the thousands, we'll see y'all there. But we racing, absolutely. We ain't stopping. It's a marathon.
And not to mention, I think, this is the thing that I love about it is like we're not doing this to wait on the views either. Like they go come. We feel good. I think that if anything, I'm proud of everything we've recorded thus far. You know what I mean? And I think that's important. So, just as much as like they go catch us when they catch us, like we also putting the reps in. So like I'm fully in that phase of my life where like, nah, I'm gonna shoot my shot in the gym like it's 100,000 people watching. You know what I'm saying? Because I think then when they come, we ain't gonna get sticker shock or we ain't gonna play ourselves out the spot. We gonna understand what we need to do, and that's be to give them more content. You know what I mean?
100%. Also, I've said this a lot, and I know people get mad at me when I say this because I've done podcasts with other people, and I know you're gonna get mad at me when I say I've done podcasts with a lot of other people.
Yeah, I hate that.
For the most part, we usually don't get past episode 20. I got 4 podcasts that I've done where we've actually done 50 episodes of the podcast. I've done 300 plus episode of Hoops and Brews, 150 of Hoops and Brews Happy Hour, which is where we go live and we watch the games. I did 50 with the show we did with Barron. Actually, 5. I did 50 with 2 of the shows we did with Barron. And
shout out Barron, who
the last one
with a Golden State Warrior. We gonna be back though.
I respect it. I'm not mad at it.
No.
I didn't say nothing. No, stop. You gotta always stop taking my side comments as comments on your comments. Because just because I say we not mad at it don't mean I'm disagreeing with what you're saying. I'm saying we not mad at it because I still got BD number in my phone, and if I need to text him, I can send him a text. So we always one phone call away from where we need to be. But I say all that to say, like, I enjoy the journey of seeing if we gonna actually get to episode 20, 25, 30, 50. Like, if you would have asked me 9 years ago, you have a podcast brand where you had two podcasts over 150 episodes, one of them over 300. I was like, man, get the fuck out of here. Who would want to hear me talk? Like, I've spent like 10,000 hours talking on the internet. So,
but I'll tell you this though. Like, number
the fact
one,
that people still want to hear it, I don't understand it.
But listen, you a dog. Congrats to you for that milestone.
We're gonna run it up.
And we definitely getting past 20. That's a fact though, because I've tried. It's funny because on your side, you got, man, I got this over 300. I got this over 150. Me, it's the opposite. It's like every time, I've tried to figure it out. Like, what's the secret sauce to like being comfortable, whatever. But honestly, bro, you make it extremely easy for us to work together. And what I love about it is, you know what I mean? Like, I could text you and it don't gotta even be you agreeing with me. It's just like off the strip of like, man, I'm like, hey, we pod, and you like, nah, I'm out. Bet, say less, but I appreciate it. But then it's like, nah, you hit me, I'll be like, hey, we pod, say less, I'll be ready in 30. And I think that the good thing about it is the only time I don't know is when, or you don't know, is when we figuring out if we're pod. But once we say yes, both of us figure out, okay, cool, whatever it is, we commit and we rock it. I think that's the thing. And so, like, the reason why 20 don't feel crazy to me is because this is like an extension of our normal conversations. You know what I mean? Which I love. It's like, nah, like, this is our conversation, us talking and rapping, and we would have did it anyway. So it's like, nah, let's turn it into content. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
like, shout out to you, man, because like I'm learning from you, and I think like what I love about that is like, nah, like I know what I don't know. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And in them moments, you know, I lean on you, like, hey, what we doing? You know what I mean? And now I'm getting really good at trusting you because I think that's what I'm learning about this process. Is like, nah, like you gotta trust people to make do their part. If you don't trust them to do their part, you're gonna either stress out or you're gonna try to overplay the part. And I think even just from episode 1 to now, I've gotten really comfortable with like, nah, like he got it. I don't gotta overplay. I just gotta be me. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I mean making these things is a lot of work, especially when you producing and getting shows off the ground. So for me, the main thing just be all right. I've done it a million times, but that ain't the point. The point is every like I told you before, and I've said this multiple times, and I keep saying this on purpose so the people that listen, if you ever been like, man, I want to start a podcast and you don't know how, I'm giving you all the gems you need to know and all the things you need to know, all the markers you need to hit while we doing this podcast. Like when we started this podcast, I creatively made it all like business and inspirational shit. And Dion was like, nah, let's aim to do it more like in the middle where it's culture, where we can do what you do best, mix it with what I do best, and then we get a chance to talk about stuff we don't get a chance to talk about. So if you listening or you listen to our podcast or you watch these videos, you can do the same thing we're doing. The software is not that expensive. The microphones aren't that expensive. The cameras aren't that expensive. It's just a matter of, are you going to show up every day?
Yep.
This game is about repetition, but also it's about having something to say. The reason why sometimes when you hit me up and you like, yo, let's podcast, I don't want to podcast because I would need to live life enough between the time we do podcasts.
Right.
Because the difference between this and when I do sports podcasts is sports change every day. It changes really by the hour. So I'm going to always have a new NBA topic or NFL or any of that kind of stuff to talk about on my sports network. But when we doing this culture podcast and we just talking about stuff like favorite hood comedy, that came up because I was thinking about Leprechaun in the Hood, right? Because I watched that like 3 or 4 weeks ago. But when I be going through my mental Rolodex of stuff that happened to me, I'm like, all right, what can we mix between what's going on in real life, what I actually experienced in real life, what's happening on the internet, and what can create good conversation. So some days I'd be like, nah, I need to live life a little bit so that way when we come back to the pod, I have some new energy to bring versus it just kind of being recycled because we just talked 2 days ago and it don't feel new and like a new spark, which is actually why I don't mind doing this twice a week and why usually when I do podcasts, when we in a normal repetition of content cycle, we do it twice a week because it allows you the opportunity to get enough space for thought in between. Rather than if you do it daily, it's like every day you gotta come to the point where you're gonna be like a first take or them types of things where you just regurgitating the same points or find the same talking points every day. And as somebody that podcasted every day for 2 years in a row, it's not fun as a content creator. And to me, when we show up here, we show up and we have fun because it's always something new for us to talk about. So if you listen to that, that's a dreamer gym. Take that with you, run with it. Yeah, I literally charge people for that advice, and it ain't cheap.
Not to mention, man, shout out. You know, I'll tell you this, man. One thing I learned in this journey is understanding when to trust. You know who your partners are. You know what I mean. And I think like what I love about you, bro, is like I know I trust you. You know what I mean? And it's something that I think you've picked up on. You know what I mean? That it's like don't get me wrong, trust does not have to be something that is, you know, given and received by both. But when you have a moment where both people really kind of trust each other, You know what I mean? To kind of be themselves and protect each other. It created, some honest dialogue. And what I love about it is like all jokes aside, like that's what it's about. You know what I mean? It's like, man, like having a moment where like, man, we could really like not worry because you know me, I'm very calculated. You know what I mean? Like I don't trust, like fuck a brand, just myself. You know what I mean? I'm not trusting of everybody with me because of everything that I've been through. And so like, being able to like open up and like being able to like now like even with all the jokes aside, like I really like do like trust what we have because it's like now like that's the thing. You gotta be able to just like sit back and not overthink the moment. And that's what this is about. That's what the Chief Dreaming podcast is about. It's like, man, like we chilling, we having fun. You know what I mean? You trolling the internet, they loving it or hating it.
And honestly, like I like this show because I get to, as I said before, explore different topics and things. Like I would have never thought that I would have posted a clip on the internet where the video title is TPJ doesn't know Dragon Ball Z. And although only because we grew in the pod, a few people have seen that, right?
Yeah.
That through line gonna come back in pod
Yep.
55
Yep.
when it's thousands of people listening and watching. They're gonna be like, what? I ain't even know they talked about that. Oh no, right? You don't know, like you call Piccolo a nigga. Anyway, what's your favorite hood comedy, or name some of them? I got a few in my mind.
All right, so let me see. Are we talking movies, shows?
I'm talking about movies. Favorite hood.
All right, let's do movies. Let's
comedy.
So,
I mean, we can eventually go to shows.
But let's start with movies.
I try to keep, and by the way, for the fans, I know you're always like, why they always got random hood? Because like we really from the soil. So like we remember the bootleg DVD man pulling up or your
literally
or the fam or somebody you knew pulling up with the bootleg DVDs back in the day, and you watching that new thing that you ain't see before. Especially back in the days of when you had all of the hood DVD kind of VHS distribution.
Yep.
And not even naming these movies as in like these my favorite hood comedies, but even when you think about like the booty calls, the players clubs, the I got the hookups, those type of movies the Fridays, those types of movies, a lot of us from that era saw originally either on the VHS or from the bootleg DVD man.
Absolutely.
So perfect conversation for us to be able to have. Give me what's some of your favorite hood comedies.
All right, so listen, I was gonna say one, you feel me, which is House Party, the House Party series. I love House Party. You know what I mean? Like I don't know. It's just I love how it's really hard, and you know this. You're in entertainment. It is extremely hard to do a posse cut song or movie. It is so hard because you don't want it to come across as forced. You know what I mean? And what I love about like the House Party movies is like, even though they were like, man, we gonna get everybody in here, you feel me? It still was just like, it was something that was just so organic about it that just felt so like dope, like the 80s and 90s. But I'm gonna be real with you, man. You mentioned one that I gotta say that is like up there for me, bro. Booty Call. That movie, dog, is so underrated when it comes to hood comedies, when it comes to Jamie Foxx and Tommy Davidson and just the journey of that movie. I love that movie. And I am as goofy as Jamie Foxx. So like everything about how he cracked the jokes, how he tries to lighten the moment, how he mess up the moment. Dog, Booty Call, man, definitely. Talk to me. What's yours?
So for me, it's funny that you said what you said about the posse cuts and all stuff, because I got a story after this. But I'm gonna name some of my favorite movies, and I'm gonna actually tell you a story that is actually gonna be a dreamer lesson. Like it's funny, I make so much content and shit. Like I never get. Well, I've been interviewed a few times. I've done a few long form podcasts. But as much content as I've made, I never really talk about me making them or the behind the scenes making content. Yeah. So I'm gonna name my favorite hood movies. First off, my favorite hood movie of all time is Leprechaun in the Hood, starring Ice-T, Warwick Davis. Amazing movie. I watched it like 3 weeks ago on St. Patty's Day, that weekend. it still holds up. It's beautiful. Like literally, Ice-T in the bathroom smoking weed. He hit it. All of a sudden, he look up in the mirror. The leprechaun on the counter. Like, a sweet aroma. And then he took a hit of it, G, and then snatched the man's finger off. I remember seeing that when I was like 8. I'm like, yo, this is the scariest shit I've ever seen in my life. Obviously, don't be a menace while drinking your juice in the hood in LA.
Don't be a menace while drinking.
Car Wash, one of my favorite hood movies. Barbershop, the original one, was fire.
Yep.
This is not a hood movie, but it's always gonna be in my hood movie Hall of Fame. Malibu's Most Wanted. Shout out to Jamie Kennedy. I've seen him perform stand up multiple times, but I love that movie forever. G. I'm B-Rad G. Hey, look, actually I take it back. That is a classic hood movie. Because even Kendrick and Not Like Us, he said, you B-Rad, you Malibu's Most Wanted when he was talking about Drake. Literally. He called him B-Rad G. Which is crazy. So you know what? I got to put Malibu's Most Wanted. But when you spoke about the posse cut, like the house party.
Hold on, can I throw one out?
Go ahead.
Listen to me. I have to say it.
Go ahead.
One of the most pirated movies of all time.
Oh, yeah. House Plane?
No,
Soul Plane. I was calling that shit House Plane.
Listen. That is the first movie that made $100 million in the hood before it came.
I remember the first time I watched that.
Yes.
My family came home and we watched it as a family, G. It's not a family movie.
We saw it on bootleg and nobody went to the theater to see it. Kevin Hart, we sorry. We messed up your first $100 million movie.
No, we didn't. No, we didn't. Because had he not done that, we would have been like, you know what? We all stole from him, so let's go see what he doing next.
You're right. So
sorry,
Kevin Hart,
Kev.
you're welcome. You're welcome. Okay?
Sorry,
and
Kev.
you got TPJ Coffin. That's crazy.
Oh, my God. That's hilarious.
Talk about your posse cut.
No, posse cut, right? So, pandemic, and shout out to the homie. I love her very much, so I'm not saying this to like disrespect her at all. But it's one of the homies, and it was 420, and it was like pandemic year. So this is 420 of 2020, right? So 420, 2020, right? We all in the house. It's pandemic. It's locked down. No cars on the street. None of that. I got homies that make music. I make music. Obviously, the intro. So I'm like, I hit up all my friends that make music. I said, yo, I want to make a posse cut, and just get all the homies on a song, and let's just make a 420 record from wherever you at, record it on whatever you got, and I'm gonna put it together. I made the beat. The song called "Kush Castles in the Sky," and let's put it together and put it out. And one of the homegirls was like, yeah, I don't really want to do it because that shit feel like it's gonna be like forced. Like you finna put 6 people on the song to talk about weed. I'm like, yeah, but I think it'll sound fire. She wound up not doing it, and I wound up having Pavi, an artist by the name of my boy. Even though back then, in her previous, her name was Brookie West. She's an artist out the islands, and then I had the homie from London named Tene. And he literally recorded it on his iPhone and sent me a voice memo. And I took his voice and I actually made a song. And it's called, and also put somebody else on there. I'm not gonna say their name, but the song is fire. So I'm gonna just play a little bit of it just so that way you and the listeners can hear it. But this is why I laugh when you said that, because I'm like, I understand the feeling and hearing yo, this shit gonna be corny. But when I finish the song, it's still to my day one of my favorite songs I've ever made. And this was recorded in literally 5 days with artists from all around the world, from the islands, from London, California, and Chicago. It's called Kush Castles in the Sky.
Give me that. Come on, chat. Come on, dreamers. We go judge this shit.
Y'all ready?
Kush castles in the sky. Mary Jane on my mind.
And 420 just passed, so perfect time to bring it up.
Shut up, you interrupting the song.
Kush castles in the sky. Mary Jane on my mind. Mary Jane on my mind. Speaking, I got an eighth to roll up. up. I bought the papers with me, no I don't do the Dutch. I might do a blunt every once in a while, but only diamond swishers cause that just is my style. Papers full of diamond OG, riding through the streets, ducking police, doing 85, down to 101. And when I'm fucking baby girl, yeah, you know she always come, I don't understand what these niggas chasing. Niggas chasing fake clout, niggas chasing fake names and fake chains, niggas chasing fake names and fake chains. I'm tryna get to the real dollars, tryna touch bees just like Jay-Z. Bitches wanna fuck on me, they hit the joint and they leave. And when they pull up, you know that we be stinging like bees. I see Kush castles in the sky, Kush castles in the sky. Mary Jane on my mind, Mary Jane on my mind. It's Kush castles in the sky, Kush castles in the sky. Mary Jane on my mind, Mary Jane on my mind.
I don't usually smoke, but I'm with it today. Just tell me what you feeling. I know the quarantine crazy, depressive episodes lately. Well, I'm here with conversation and a blunt, and you can tell me what you want. I promise it won't ever leave the room. We can even do it over Zoom. We can never on a day. Roll one up, get blown away. Yeah, that's the vibe, the vibe. That's the vibe, the vibe. That's the vibe, the vibe. That's the vibe, the vibe.
Shout out to the homegirl from the islands. I mean, to the homie from the islands, my bad. One of these verses of the song, you gonna be like, what he just say? watch.
Okay.
Kush castles in the sky, Kush castles in the sky. Mary Jane on my mind, Mary Jane on my mind.
Got me floating in the sky, pussy feeling super high. When sativa is the vibe.
Shout out to my baby mama. She wrote this herself. I actually gotta give her some credit for it.
So take my body and unwind, cause you ain't never gonna find another vibe like mine. But I gotta go, my joint is rolled. I wish that I could take it slow, but you know, he said I'm trouble out that kush. That's why my panties over there. If we keep smoking, baby, my life gon' end up in the air.
Kush castles in the sky. Kush castles in the sky. Mary Jane.
So what is one more verse?
There's one more verse, watch. So is Posse Cut.
Kush castles in the sky. Mary Jane on my mind. Mary Jane on my mind.
One got Miami, what I started with. And that's the kiss her after she sucked my dick. Another excuse not to pass my spliff. I got some hash oil and 2 vape cartridges. Cooking and smoking, I do my thing, trying to roll a wood.
I literally was waiting for you to hit it, and you like rewind. He recorded on his iPhone. I remember when I first got it, I said, nigga, what did this nigga just say?
Hey, whenever you feel the need to shout out 2 vape cartridges. Hey, I'm gonna
say, I got some hash oil and 2 vape cartridges.
I'm gonna need my boy to wean himself off.
Shout out my man. Shout out to my man Tenny, man. That's
Shout out
hilarious.
Tenny,
but that's why when you take a chance on a random collab, man. I still like that. That's a great record. If you're a smoker out there, to get your smoke on Kush Castles of the Sky. It's out on right now every streaming platform. Been streamed thousands of times. Go check that out. Anyways, let's move on. Speaking of freaky bars, Shannon Sharpe is in the news. He's getting sued for $100 million.
50.
Oh, I'm sorry. He
50,
was gonna make $100 million before he got sued. Now we'll see. Shannon Sharpe has been sued by a female accuser who claims that he was sexually assaulting and raping her. But Shannon Sharpe went yesterday, scorched earth, and released a statement featuring text messages from said encounter with said woman. And then he also today released a statement, but I'm going to just read a few, just the top part of Shannon Sharpe's statement. He tweeted this at 12:32 p.m. on April 21st, 2025. Statement by Lanny Davis, by Lanny J. Davis, counsel to Shannon Sharpe. Quote, I want you to put a dog collar around my neck and choke me with it while you're blanking me. Dash, Gabrielle Zuniga in a text message to Shannon Sharpe, October 7, 2023. I know you, and quote, I know you miss this big juicy ass. $25K for each cheek. Gabrielle Zuniga in a text message to Shannon Sharpe on January 1st of this year, 2025 at 9:50 p.m. It says, this lawsuit filed by Gabriella Zuniga and orchestrated by her attorney, Tony Busby, is a blatant and cynical attempt to shake down Mr. Sharpe for millions of dollars. It is filled with lies, distortions, and misrepresentations and will not succeed. It goes on. I'm going to skip a little bit. It says that to set the record straight, we are releasing several of Ms. Zuniga's own explicit text messages to Mr. Sharpe that clearly indicate the nature of their relationship was consensual and sexual in nature, and in many cases initiated by her with specific and graphic requests. Contrary to the allegations she makes in her lawsuit, consensual sex continued until January 2nd, 2025, the day after she asked Mr. Sharpe for $25,000 per cheek, as quoted above from her text message to Mr. Sharpe. There are other examples of text from Ms. Zuniga. For example, quote unquote, only if you put that baby gravy in me, then I can do whatever you want to. Text from Gabrielle Zuniga to Shannon Sharpe, November 23rd, 2023. Quote unquote, I want to put my tongue in your asshole and then marry you. Text from Gabriella Zuniga to Shannon Sharpe, January 12, 2024. Quote unquote, that's my daddy. Fuck, I want you to put that big black baby in me. Text from Gabrielle Zuniga to Shannon Sharpe, August 6, 2024. You, quote unquote, you better crave it because you're going to be stuck with it for life after you put a big black baby in me. Text from Gabrielle Zuniga to Shannon Sharpe, August 11, 2024. These messages are just a sampling of a broader pattern of graphic sexual communications initiated by Ms. Zuniga. All right, Dion, you heard them quotes. My head damn near hurt from reading them shits. Go ahead, talk to me, brother. Oh, my head hurt from reading that shit.
Shannon, what you good, bro? I ain't even gonna lie to you. Everybody else gonna focus on the $50 million shakedown. They gonna be like, man, look, we got your back, Unc. Obviously, it came out 2 days after it was reported you were signing for $100 million. It's not a coincidence that she's, asking for 50. But Uncle, we gotta talk, man. Why are you so kinky, bro? What's up with that, man? Because here's the thing, man.
Why you so kinky? It's hilarious.
Why you so kinky?
Listen, be the name of this.
For real.
If you don't mind, I'm gonna name this shit. Why you so kinky, bro?
People only do what you allow them to. And you can tell throughout your personality, the context of the messages. There's a power dynamic because of the money in the capital. Do your grandma know you talk like this, man? Like, what's up with you, man? What's up with the big black baby thing?
I'm gonna say now.
I
love my grandma, Miss Ida Mae.
Now, Skip. My grandma would say, if the sun is shining on the hog's ass, then what good is the hog? Like I listen, man. I will say this, okay? What we have to understand is that that's gonna get worked out in the court of law. I just like that racial fetish and that language is crazy, man. It's crazy.
I mean, she sent that to him. He didn't send that to her.
No. I know. Listen. I'm gonna tell you this. Very rarely is it one party and not the other. You know what I mean? So even in the midst of them figuring this out, it's like she sent that confidently.
I was about to take this show completely off the rails, but I'm not going to do
that.
No,
please don't. Please don't. Thank you. Please don't. But what I will say is, I think that regardless of the background or the racial identity, for real. I think that you gotta be able to live with some of this, man. It's like big black baby is crazy. Like Glass Jess. Let's take a deep breath. Unc, come on now. You hear me? It said January 2025. What's up, brother? You hear me? Come on now.
Let's listen to Unc's statement.
Oh, he done drawn up the statement.
To my family, friends, supporters, and colleagues, I want to speak to you directly and from the heart. This is a shakedown. I'm going to be open, transparent, and defend myself because this isn't right. This is all being orchestrated by Tony Busby, who has targeted Jay-Z. Tony Busby targets black men, and I believe he's going to release a 30-second clip of a sex tape that tries to make me look guilty and play into every stereotype you could possibly imagine. That video should actually be 10 minutes or so. Hey, Tony, instead of releasing your edit, put the whole video out. I don't have it, or I would myself. You know what happened, and you're trying to manipulate the media. The encounter in question took place during the day at her invitation, and now that appears to be a deliberate setup, coordinated by Gabby, also known as Carly, on OnlyFans. Gabby and Tony Busby want $50 million. What they're getting is sued for defamation and trying to take me down. My career is all about real talk and honesty. I know my family and fans know exactly what this is about. And I'm going to be out there telling you whatever I need to say, just like I always do. I love all you guys. Thanks.
Number one, hold on. Shannon, how old is this nigga?
What, 46?
56, Shannon. Get your old ass off OnlyFans, G.
Listen.
Otherwise known as Carly of OnlyFans. Brother.
Listen. 56. She's what, 19?
No, she's not.
How old is she?
I don't know, in her 20s.
I mean, but listen, man. Like,
but she's not.
The problem with this is, come on, bro. If you gotta say otherwise known, if you gotta say otherwise known as blank on OnlyFans, come on now. Come on, man. What are we doing here? Thomas, man, what's up? You know what? You solo and talk to your boy. How about that? Give me a solo when you talk to your boy. Because I want to hear you. I want to hear you talk to your boy. Okay. Where's your solo?
Okay, so look, I don't really know what to say to Shannon. We all one sex scandal or whatever away from whatever. I've been a young wild man. I've never been a 56-year-old man out there talking to them OnlyFans. But at the same time, I don't know, man. Like, my group chat been on fire with this today. It's always difficult for me to speak about these type of issues because they're civil issues and not criminal. And if they were criminal, I think my opinion on some of these things would be a lot more poignant and a little harsher. And that's not to say that like I don't view the civil aspects as being as being taken seriously, but also at the same time he is not technically being charged with a crime, so it's hard for me to speak about this from a criminal manner, especially given the nature of those text messages and how graphic they were. It seems like as though their relationship was based upon financial compensation, and it was some level of race play, or whether she felt comfortable or he felt comfortable. They both clearly felt comfortable in exchanging that, and I'll leave that to other people to decide how they will react to those situations, because I can't speak for everybody else how they would react in them situations. I've definitely been in a similar situation, and like that kind of shit just don't fly. You just leave them type of people and those types of things alone, because ultimately it's like why I don't know. My question for Shannon would be like, other than the fact that she's young and she does OnlyFans, what was really intriguing about this relationship? Because it doesn't seem, based upon the conversation, that you were having an intellectual relationship. So if this is purely a consensual and sexual relationship, ultimately, what are you getting out of it? I understand with money and power comes all this other stuff, but I can't speak on other people's sexual natures or habits or whatever, because really I don't give a fuck. And I feel like the internet gives too much of a fuck about who everybody is fucking for everybody to complain and act like they so goddamn progressive and forward thinking and all this other stuff. So like ultimately it ain't really up for me to judge him based upon what he doing. I hate the fact that the internet always takes everything like, oh well, he just doing this because people think he gay. So fucking what if he was gay? What does that change anything that he's accomplished? Does that take away his football accomplishments? That take away his sportscaster career? That take away the podcast, the night camp? It doesn't do anything other than personally humiliate him, which, like I said before, if we all progressive and all this other shit like we saying, why does it really matter? So I think all of this really is messy, and if this is an attempt for him to, I don't know. It's just a lot of weird theories on the internet as to why people feel like he would be involved in these things. And if I'm being honest, I just think most people, especially people with access to beautiful women, money, and access to clout, it's a very slippery slope between going to the club and hanging out and doing all this other stuff and becoming like a full-blown sex addict, especially when you out here in LA being around all these people and all these things and all of these vices. So I personally believe he's more of a sex addict, and I think most people that we look at and we see a lot of these things, they dealing more so with sex addiction than they dealing with just like being dumb and stupid. Like, I don't think he's thinking with his brain. I think he's thinking with his dick.
I didn't think that when I told you to solo the camera that the last word would be dick. I'm not gonna lie.
Okay, yeah. Well, fine. I didn't think he was thinking with his brain. He was thinking with his penis. He wasn't thinking with his brain. He was thinking with the other one. And look, like I said, I've had moments in my life where I've felt like I have like dealt with some sex addiction and stuff like that. Cause like I said, when you get in this lifestyle of partying and being around all this stuff and meeting all these different women and stuff, you do want to go and experience and try and do different shit that you didn't get a chance to do when you didn't have access to these women. It happens all the time. It happens with women and famous men, which is why when a woman glow up and get big on the internet, you start seeing her with celebrities versus Craig and them that she was hanging out with before she got lit on the internet. Mm-hmm. So it's not up for me, and I personally don't think, as long as he not being charged criminally with nothing, especially given this Tony Busby guy, and after he was just humiliated by Jay-Z for the lies and all of this, coercing the woman to make these false statements against Jay-Z to the point where she had to come out and her dad came out and said it was false and he got dropped from it, and now his standing in the bar is now up for question and they trying to get him disbarred. Yeah, I'm gonna look at this and think it's a crock of shit, because he's essentially he's just a man version of what Gloria Allred is allegedly to be when people allegedly call her an ambulance chaser. So it's not up for me to sit up here and if it was criminal, like I said, my tone would be a lot different. But given the lawyer, his past, and the context surrounding the situation, the race play, and the text, I don't see anything else other than an individual that got sex addiction problems and that might need to go and sit and talk to somebody, or just need to have some better handlings in his business when he is, carrying out his sex addiction. Because you trying to go and get porn stars and you look at Tiger Woods. Porn stars, just because you a sex addict don't mean porn stars not gonna snitch on you. Right. They did on Tiger Woods in mass. And he lost a lot of sponsorships, committed no crimes, got arrested, didn't get charged with nothing, didn't even get sued. He just got divorced. He just got fucked up, crashed his whip, and his wife beat his ass, I believe, allegedly with a golf club. And then everybody found out about it because it was a big thing. Tiger Woods didn't get arrested for nothing. He didn't get charged with nothing. He didn't have no civil suits. Tiger Woods, by his own admission, was just a sex addict. And because he was married, he chose prostitutes and porn stars to have sex with because he figured that they would not be the type that would tell on him and snitch. When once it got out, you saw every porn star that ever slept with Tiger Woods say, I love Tiger. So to me, I just see a sex addicted person that don't know how to handle himself behind the scenes now that he reaching heights that he ain't reached before. Because I don't give a fuck how big of a football player he was. He's a million times more popular now than he was when he had that helmet on, running up and down the field, catching touchdown passes from John Elway. So to me, I would say to Shannon Sharpe, as somebody that's been moving around the city for 13 years, you got to learn how to move better.
Yep.
Because everybody in LA is one bad night away, not saying you committed any crime, but one bad night away from you, sleeping with somebody you really shouldn't have, or sleeping with somebody that you didn't really have the best of relationship with, from you being an accusation away from something else. That's why you have to maintain relationships with people. And a lot of these passive relationships that people have in this city come back to haunt them because they just be out here fucking people and not building relationships with people. And it's very clear that their relationship was transactional and built up on sex and not built up on an actual relationship. Like that girl that was in that tape that was on Instagram, Michelle, we ain't heard Michelle come out and say nothing negative about him. You want to know why? Because he claims and he said he had a long-standing relationship with that woman, and he's known her for years. You can't do the same thing when you picking porn stars off of OnlyFans. It's just inherently going to be transactional by the sheer nature of you signing up for OnlyFans and paying for the account just to message her and say, yo, I'm Shannon Sharpe.
And I think,
that's the only reason why I took it down that road, just because this culture in LA of sex, partying, and drugs, it is a real culture. And it is a real culture of prostitution on both sides. Mm-hmm. So you have to learn how to smartly navigate those things in a manner that's not going to put you in a situation where you get humiliated. Now, if you just out here fucking around and it's consensual, cool. But if you paying prostitutes and you think they going to be your friend when the money run out, you're an idiot.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But I got to go to the bathroom, so you speak on it.
No,
go ahead, retort.
You'd have called everybody. I ain't retorting. You'd have called everybody prostitutes and fucking said, Shannon Sharpe is addicted to sex. What I supposed to say? You know what I mean? I think, if anything, after hearing Thomas's, comments, I'll just say, hey, kids, don't do drugs. That was a Waterboy reference. But no, I think that, whatever situation you get in, you got to be able, to live with the results. And I don't know. I mean, of course, I think that, this might be a shakedown, but also, the rhetoric involved, the language involved, the messages, the way of speaking, all of this is kind of weird. Every time you get a case from Hollywood, it's always this random, put that black baby in me. I'm like, hold up. That's kind of graphic, It could have just been a baby. Why does the baby have to be big and black? But no, Shannon, you gotta tighten up, bro. You gotta tighten up. I ain't gonna lie to you. Like, listen, Unc, we got you, but we gotta keep it real. But you gotta tighten up, bro.
Tighten up,
even
bro.
Even you sitting at that desk with your plaid blaze on, brolic as hell. like, this shakedown, they wanted to charge me with blah. I don't care about none of that shit. Get your freaky shit together. Okay? Cause this is ridiculous, man. And this should have been the week we celebrating you. For you actually, pulling off your $100 million move and all that. And you're a super freak. You know what I mean? Like, and that's cool, but like, nah, you know what I'm saying? Granted, even if you don't lose nothing, man. Come on, man. You did all this to get your payday, to keep your career going, man. Don't let you being a super freak change that. Okay? Don't get me wrong. You a super freak. Those text messages, not just on her. I ain't gonna lie. I didn't want to read it. I would have been A-okay without reading it. You a wild boy.
He a fan, he a fan, he a fan. Let's move on. Coolest celeb you ever met? You want me to start or you want to start?
You start.
I would say the coolest celeb I ever met was actually Jack Black. I shout out to Jack Black. This is around the time Jumanji was coming out for the first time. One. The first one was coming out, and I was working at Full Screen. Jack Black came in to take a meeting with somebody, and I don't know, I was a part of the meeting or something before the meeting or whatever, and wound up just like sitting down with him for about 5 minutes in the lobby and talking to him. And obviously Jack Black is a legend, not only a film legend, but like a comedic film legend. And I forgot what I said to him, but I made a joke and he laughed, and I will forever remember that. Like, I made Jack Black laugh. So shout out to Jack Black, very down to earth guy, very, very sweet individual, kind, the type of shake everybody's hand, look everybody in the eye when he meets them, and literally the same way he look in his movies, like kind of dirty with a t-shirt, big belly, and some cargos and some fucking sandals on. That's how he is in real life. He just walk on set. They probably put a little makeup on his face so you get the dark circles out. Action. That's Jack Black for you, for real. Shout out to Jack Black. How about you?
You got me with ice.
This nigga over there crunching on ice and shit. By the way, I'm sorry, fans. Y'all got so many sounds. This is like a audio. It's like a 40X podcast with Dion on here. You got ice cups. Goddamn fire alarm going off.
Yep.
We about to be 9 episodes in. That motherfucker still going off every 3 minutes.
And
another nightmare.
He's like,
8 weeks of nightmares in a row.
He's like, change it. Shut up talking to me.
8 weeks of nightmares in a row.
Shout out Jack Black. Mine is G Herbo.
Shout out to G Herbo.
And Chicago and all of the work that I do, man. Met her, amazing dude, down to earth, and you could tell that like he was being real. I think that's the thing that I love about it. It's like he was just being real. And I remember talking to him and his team about what we were doing with Dion Chicago Dream. And not only did they rock with it, but they didn't fake it. And so the good thing about it was like, next time we talked, we had to run through it again. But the biggest thing, man, is like, you know what I'm saying? Like, he don't owe me anything. And nobody owes me anything. So I'm always thankful for like people that answer their phone. And like, dog, I really would like just call him randomly just to just check on him. Because I think, as Black successful men, I want to make sure that I pour into every Black man that I'm lucky enough to get an answer from. And it ain't that I talk to TPJ any different than I talk to G Herbo. If anything, I just think that by the numbers, G Herbo has less people than TPJ to really pour into him. And so, shout out to Herb, man. I think that like he's on a crazy run. But also like I appreciate him because like it's so many affluent people and so many superstars that have ignored what we're doing in Chicago. And he didn't. You know what I mean? Him, his team, he's never switched up his number. You know what I mean? And like when I call, I just tell him like I'm proud of him, I love him, and like thank you for like, just growing up, because like, man, like it's so many people that's not here anymore. And so like I'm also thankful that like he's still here. And like, if there's anything that I can do to help him influence anybody else, like I think that's important too. So I mean, shout out to him because like I appreciate anybody that shows me kindness, you know what I mean, and acknowledges what we've done as a team because it's not just me, it's a team behind me. Like he was fired, bro. Like honestly, down to earth, like not just, you know what I'm saying, like talking to me. I can't hear you.
Oh no, I was gonna say I believe I met him once in passing at Baron Davis compound in like 2020 or something like that.
Yeah, no, solid dude, bro.
BD used to host a lot of parties back then. Like,
Yeah, no,
I always be a lot of Chicago people in there. I think I met Herb once. I just like shook his hand, just like, yo, what's good, Herb? And then kept walking.
He's solid, bro. Like really,
he's
like,
a nice guy. I respect everybody from Chicago and the Midwest that like still remain approachable everywhere they go. And that's the way he operates.
He's approachable, dude.
I mean, especially in like a normal environment. Obviously, you know, we run up somebody on the street, but at like a Baron Davis party, obviously, you know, niggas is chilling and hanging out. So sometimes people do be standoffish. So shout out to Herb, man.
Yep, absolutely, man. Absolutely, man. Nah, for real. Let's go, man. Let's.
All right, Kevin Gates versus LeBron. We can keep this short. Kevin Gates basically went on the internet and said if he had to switch places with LeBron, he would not. And not because of LeBron James, but because he doesn't like the way that Savannah looks at him, but he likes the way that the white girls on the sideline look at LeBron, and he wishes Savannah looked at LeBron the way that the white women did. LeBron eventually goes on to Twitter, posts a little carousel of him and his wife, says the king doesn't listen to the opinion of peasants. And then, it says, I see you, queen. Then Kevin Gates responds and says, it's okay, LeBron. I had to hurt you because you're my brother, but hopefully you'll understand what I'm saying.
Oh, my God.
We ain't even got to go through this. Just tell me on a scale of 1 to 50 how fucking hilarious this is, because I got it at 55. Because out of all the reasons to say you don't want to be LeBron, you not want to be LeBron because you want the white women over his wife is crazy. That's low key worse than what Shannon did.
Hey, listen, you know why this is unfortunate? Because even in spite of so much that is misconstrued by Kevin Gates, I think he's had a lot of moments online where I was like, man, like I appreciate that take. You know what I mean? Like talking about really believing in yourself, talking about love and different. No, for real, like honestly. With that being said, Kevin Gates, shut the hell up. Shut up. Listen to me, man. It's some people. You know what I love about being black, man? You know what I love about like us, man?
What? Us drinking Gatorade?
Hey, you so stupid.
I still can't believe you. I love watching.
What I love about us is that there's certain people throughout every generation that has done nothing to nobody. You know what I mean? And for you
can't say that about LeBron. Get your
not LeBron.
No.
I'm not.
Okay, to my Miss Savannah. Okay, Miss Savannah.
I'm talking about Savannah, and by every metric, that is somebody that has stayed out the way. That is somebody that is a mom, that is a wife, that ain't. I mean, like you really can't find. And so, what I don't appreciate is like you don't have to do that. I think that like. I get like okay, you looking for your viral moment, and man, you got some type of moment. You know what I'm saying? Like you got your moment on the internet, but like, I don't like that you turn your social media following toward her direction. Well, she's not like that. You know what I mean? Like, and so like LeBron, whatever. Even if you would have said, man, LeBron, I don't rock with you because X, Y, and Z. But when you use the Savannah frame, I'm against it. I think that, like, at the end of the day, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's almost a form of kind of like social media or internet bullying. You know what I mean? And I think that, like, you brought that undue attention or whatever. And it's like, at some point, we got to remember that some people, how they've responded, they deserve to be untouchable. You know what I mean? And if she would have did something that warranted this, but like Kevin Gates, you said you started a car battery with your hands. Boy, shut your dumb ass up.
I mean,
okay?
It's possible.
Hey, look at me.
I saw in the internet video, it's possible.
Hey, listen, I'm not saying it's not. Shut your dumb ass up, okay? Some people, it's just like before we realize that Bill Cosby was Steph Curry of throwing pills and drinks. Okay, when it comes to Felicia Rashad, you know what I'm saying?
All
Like
right, man. I'm done
I'm
with you.
just, I'm just saying
Let's
he
end this
was
fucking podcast, man.
per.
All right, G.
but for real, like it's some people that have not only paid their dues, but they they mean a little bit more to us. I will go on record as saying like, nah, like Savannah James is somebody who I believe has been an upstanding, like not only black role model, but like the way that you said you wish LeBron would have acted with Stephen A. Smith. I think Savannah would have acted. I think how LeBron acted, Savannah was like, hey, bro, you tripping. You feel me? That's how we view her. And so to have someone like that, for you to bring that aggressive, masculine infidelity energy to her, unwarranted, is crazy to me. And I really didn't like it. I really think that, like, just as much as, he has his takes or whatever, man, like he gotta chill, bro. He gotta chill.
I ain't mad at that. I'm not mad at that. Let's move on. You want to talk about who was more influential, Kid and Play or Method Man and Redman? I'm gonna say there's no way you could say Method Man and Redman over Kid and Play. House Party. No, for real. I mean, when you look at, like, I'll put it this way. Since Kendrick Lamar dropped Not Like Us, a lot of people have been saying it's the greatest rap song of all time. It's because it did or whatever. I'm like, look, the greatest rap song of all time will forever be The Message by the Sugar Hill Gang, period. And people argue me up and down. I don't care what it is. It's a foundational piece of rap music. It still gets remixed and made into a rap hit every 1 or 2 years. And it's arguably the greatest written rap song ever.
That's what you talking about. I said a hip hop. I hear it said hip. I hear them start rocking to the bank.
Nah.
What?
No, I'm talking about The Message. It's like a jungle sometime. It made me wonder how I keep
No.
under.
Yeah, I'm going back to you. Feel me?
I feel you, but no, I'm talking about The Message. The Message by Grandmaster Flash and
that's
off Sugar Hill
Gang.
Game. It's the greatest rap song ever. It perfectly encapsulates exactly what hip hop culture is about, and it's been extrapolated and put in terms like. There would be no rap without that song.
You think because you did your hand like this, you said extrapolated that you?
No, I don't give a fuck about my hands. There would be
but you did it though. You
there would be no rap music without that song.
Tiger Claw.
Even if you think about "Can't Hold Me Down" by Mace and Puffy and them.
Look at me.
The Message.
Shut up. You said extrapolated, and you did a Tiger Claw.
And we came together.
You look like Caleb Whip.
I look like you when you was doing that damn TED talk, and you was standing in Wrigley Field with your hands like this, with your little white shirt on. Well, guys, let me talk to you guys about. He said
the message was extrapolated, and by all metrics, hip hop was.
But no, for real.
Pronounced. Hey, shut up.
The perfect encapsulation of what hip hop is, and you don't get that. You don't get this without that. And to me, you don't get Meth and Red without Kid and Play. Now, we talking about skill, obviously, is no competition. Even Eminem says Redman is a better rapper than him, and a lot of people think Eminem is the GOAT or in the top 2, top 3. But they don't have Redman there. Meth, obviously, great rapper, part of the Wu-Tang. Nowhere near on the level of a rapper as Redman, but still an all-time great. But to me, you got to go with Kid and Play, man. They laid the blueprint out for what a cool and hip duo is.
No, you know what, man? Like, now that you say that, fuck all that. Okay? Meth and Red, you hear me? Okay? The Rock Wilder, How High. I get all of that. I understand the blueprint and all that, but listen, man. We like How High, crazy. You know, that's the blueprint. It wouldn't be no 8 Mile without How High. You feel me? Rappers and moves. I'm joking. Ain't nobody ever said that, but I was like, okay. Hey, it's a stretch. I'll take it. But I mean, listen, man, I'm a little bit more partial. Like I remember like learning, Meth and Red from my big brother Darnell. Just rapping it, man, and like that energy. Now, granted, I will say this though, I'm not gonna act like Kid and Play didn't have energy, man. Cause listen, when they had on their little button up, tucked in their pants and they about to, do the little ooh-wop in the party. Hey, they had it. But I mean, listen, man, I'm gonna pick Meth and Red. I think that, what they had was special. I think that their ability to come together and not even be together like Kid and Play and still give that Kid and Play feel, next level, bro. Like Meth and Red, man. Like it looked, it felt different, man. So shout out to them, man. But I respect what you said, absolutely, for sure.
Well, you always want to talk about passing down culture. That's the prime example of passing down culture. But let's move on quickly. Talk about the NBA playoffs, man. NBA playoffs, to me, in my opinion, have been fire so far. A lot of blowouts. Look like the Bucks about to go down 0-2. The Grizz about to go down 0-2. The Lakers played the night that we recording, so we won't be able to say if they going down 0-2. The Warriors beat the Rockets at home. Every other series pretty much has been blowouts. What's your thoughts about the NBA playoffs so far? Have you been watching? You been tapped in? What's been your favorite matchup so far? For me, I'm not gonna lie. I know I've been at war with Clippers Twitter because I said that nobody wanted to see that series. That series has been heat.
Anybody that says any first round matchup is as fire as Denver and the Clippers is lying, bro. Yeah. Okay? Because that series, we all feel every game is going to be decided by 5 points or less. You feel me? Oh, yeah. It just feels like it. And I think that, like, what I love about it is, conspiracy theories, abound. But when Luka got traded, bro, it gave the NBA new life, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, it really, like, not only was it the trade that shocked the world, but, like, honestly, I think that this product that they're putting out, there's unique matchups, there's tune-ups. But also, what I love about it? What I love about it is, like, it's confirming a few things that we know to be true that will prep us for the offseason. So, for example, some people are looking at the Thunder and Memphis, and it's like, nah, Memphis is at a crossroads. You know what I mean? So what I love about it is not only is the Thunder confirming that they're there to be taken serious, but hey, Memphis, y'all got to make a decision. Because if this is what y'all go put out on the floor with Ja and the center on all max deals, y'all not going nowhere. It's just showing y'all that y'all just about to pay a lot of money for a subpar product. And so, outside of, the Lakers game not being played yet, we'll see. Maybe it's one of the few that could go, 1-1. But all in all, dude, even with New York and Detroit getting their first win in, what was it, more than a decade, I believe. You know what I'm saying? They first playoff win. I think that, what this is doing is, like, it's really allowing people to write they story as playoff performers. And what I love about that, you got Cade Cunningham at Detroit. And I'm not gonna lie, I really love, even though I'm not really a big OKC person, I love that they came out and they showing it. All right, cool. We the number one seed for a reason. You know what I mean? Drop, like, we destroyed them cats by 50. You know what I'm saying? We up by 20 right now, you know what I'm saying, against them. And so, like, I just think that, like you said, I'm really excited about the Denver and the Clippers series because I think that, honestly, bro, that series has major implications on how the West is going to shake out. Because if the Clippers get through, West be damned. It's about to get crazy. Because now you got the Clippers going against the Thunder in the next round. And then if you got the winners,
I don't think they're going to beat the Thunder, though.
No.
I know what you're saying. I just don't think they're going to beat the Thunder, though.
I think every game matters. And I think that the difference between Denver going against OKC and the Clippers is big. I think the Clippers will take OKC further, maybe a 6 or 7 game series. Whereas if it's Denver, I honestly think it'll be down to like 5. You know what I'm saying? So, I'll say I'm really impressed. I think there's a renewed interest. Nah, the playoffs cracking, bro. I ain't even gonna lie to you. Like, I think, like, there's so many interesting matchups, so many stories being written. And honestly, man, these young boys came to play. What I love about that is, like, man, now it's time to write your check. So what I loved about Cade Cunningham is, man, he got his Detroit buffs on, Midwest stand up. But, like, honestly, man, like, I love that, like, they got that W. You know what I'm saying? Because
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie,
Very
fuck the
hard
Knicks.
fought win because
Hey,
honestly they
hey,
should be up in the series 2-0.
Hey,
If we being honest, the Pistons should have won that first game, but I think the lights, like I tweeted it the other day when they was up in that game. Actually, I said the Pistons might be young enough and dumb enough to believe that they can win and do it all, and they are young enough and dumb enough to believe they can win it all. But that first game, when you a new team that's entering into the playoffs, right? You saw it last year in the second round series versus OKC. When you get punched in your mouth, right, or when you punch somebody in their mouth first, right, you gotta wait in the playoffs for that return punch, or you know what I'm saying, like vice versa, before you really know what you about. So they came out swinging, boom, but then the Knicks hit back and they was like, they had to take a second regroup.
Can I fight that though a little bit?
They can fight though. They fought
back.
No,
not them. I'm talking what you said.
Go ahead.
It ain't no young and dumb. You feel me? I really believe you're talking to somebody that I believe that anything is possible. When you in the playoffs, it's 0-0. You feel me? And I think that there has to be what I've learned about success, what I've learned about building my career, what I've learned about learning from others. There's a certain cognitive dissonance. There's a certain unnatural belief that you can do it. And that's with anybody that is successful. When you come from nothing, when you come from like Detroit did, 14 wins, you know what I mean? Or something like that last year. Your belief in yourself is not based on the fact from last year. You know what I'm saying? And so now, like, it ain't young and dumb. It's like, listen, we all in the playoffs. Check ball up top. That's it. And I think that what I love about it is like, you know what? I'm so impressed that Detroit, even though they should have won game one, it didn't matter. When they got the W, which is what the Lakers better do tonight. Because if not, y'all on life support. You hear me?
It's time for, by the way, it's time for LeBron James. Time to go home, old man. It's a wrap, bro. You can't do it every game no more, which means that you shouldn't be out there doing it no more. You can give us one good game a week, but it's over night to night, game to game. Pack it up. Take your old ass home. Anyways, moving on. Next topic. I just want to go personally on a quick rant because I'm sure you didn't watch WrestleMania 42.
I saw parts of it.
Okay. So maybe you can give me your opinion if you have one. I don't know. No, I'm saying if you have one, you might not have one.
Last time
you might not have gave a fuck. You might not have gave a fuck.
Last time I checked, that was Cheap Dreamer.
We didn't say what that say Cheap Dreamer podcast. They don't say no name. No, I just fuck with you. Like nigga, that's my silhouette.
He said it's your name, but it's my IP. What are you talking
I'm
about?
fucking with you. No. But I let me just say I enjoyed 80% of it. The 20% of it that I didn't enjoy made it bad. The first night, why the fuck you put the World Heavyweight Championship as the opener? I didn't even see it because it's Saturday and it's 3 o'clock in the goddamn afternoon. Second off, how is the Women's Championship on night 2 better than the undisputed Men's Championship, and you did it again? You started off with a fucking championship matchup to open up the show. I didn't understand the method of the way that they went about booking this show. I didn't dislike. Look, I like the Cena Rock, Cody Rhodes storyline going into it. The final boss, sell your soul, all of that shit. But to throw that out there and then not pay it off was like if you would have went to go see name a famous heist movie.
Ocean's 11.
You gonna see Ocean's 11? They go and grab the egg, and then all of a sudden the egg disappear, and they in the room, and they like, oh, why do we end up in this room? The fuck are you doing? How do you spend 3.5 months building up this character with The Rock, and then you have Travis motherfucking Scott? Shout out to Travis Scott. But why the fuck is Travis Scott deciding WWE history in the ring?
Here's my thing. Travis Scott is like 95 pounds, okay?
He weighs as much as I do, G. Come on. I'm like, all right, G.
I'm not going to lie. Solo the mic. I mean, give me my moment, bro. Travis Scott, you ugly. And you acting like you not ugly. That's bothering me. I know Kylie's your baby mom. I know you're rich, but you ugly. And you doing ugly dude stuff. WrestleMania is not about you. You walking down the wall ass motherfucker, okay? You take your weird, twisted braid having ass and you go back with your damn auto-tune and you finish the album. I don't. You shouldn't be deciding John Cena's retirement, okay? I knew when I saw him in your shoes, it was some fuckery afoot. I promise you. When I saw the reverse swoosh, I said, this is not going to end well. And he got RKO'd. That blood is on your hands. You scrawny motherfucker.
Oh my God, bro.
I'm just saying. Somebody got to tell him, okay?
That is hilarious.
Somebody got to tell him. I'm tired of this shit, okay? Travis Scott, some collabs and partnerships you got to say no to, okay? Next, you gonna have a fucking crumble cookie. The fuck we want a damn Rager cookie for, bro? When will you say no?
Right, caffeine in the cookie.
Like, bro, come on, man.
I'm Travis Scott. I'll put caffeine in the cookie. Now you can be a fiend. That's what's gonna be the crumble cookie commercial, literally.
Yeah, like no, man.
Smash the crumble cookies with a jackhammer.
Some things are just special, man. Okay? You look like you got an autoimmune disease. Shout out to all my people with an autoimmune disease. It ain't y'all good. It's just him, okay?
All right, bro. Let's move on.
I'm tired of him, bro. Like, why is he popping up in areas he shouldn't be? It's like, oh, this year's Easy Bake Oven, the Travis Scott edition. What are we doing?
Oh my God. All right, let's move on. What's your least favorite sport to watch?
Listen, man. Okay. What's the joint that's kind of like football but not really football?
Nah, you tweaking rugby fire.
Hey, listen.
You gotta watch rugby during the Olympics. Rugby is fire.
Hey, this my take. Chill out. Okay? Check this out. Dear rugby, cut it the fuck out. Okay? Cut it out. Okay? Like, what are you trying to prove? You tossing the ball up, this motherfucker's catching it. What are you doing? Okay? The shit y'all playing is what people play in vacant lots on the south side of Chicago. Okay? And listen, there's gonna be a lot of rugby people that are mad. I don't care. I'm sorry. Somebody gotta tell y'all. Okay? There's something about your sport that we not taking serious. I'm sorry. We're not. You know, and listen, it could be an American thing. It's a lot of shit that's serious that we do not take serious. Okay, signal chats. Okay, trade agreements. All right, you feel me? WrestleMania. We don't take none of this shit serious. But rugby is a fucking joke. Okay. Get it together.
I don't agree with my man. All y'all know from down under in New Zealand and Australia, all the Aussies. I fuck with rugby. Rugby during the Olympics was fucking fire.
But you hear what he's saying, right?
But
he's saying, no, shut up. I'm not done. Because rugby in the Olympics is every 4 years. So for 3.5 years, he's saying y'all trash.
No, I didn't. I'm just saying I'm not tapped in like that. I'm not tapped in like that.
You get tapped in.
That don't mean it's my least favorite sport. My least favorite sport is cricket. I don't understand cricket.
You get tapped in when you
it look like ghetto baseball.
Rugby is trash. Somebody got to tell them. You ain't had a conversation with them and told them how trash this shit is. What do you say? Trash. Okay.
I fuck with most sports but cricket, bro. Like, I don't understand cricket. Cricket looked like they couldn't figure out how to make a baseball bat, so they just grabbed a paddle and just went to start hitting the ball.
Ain't that motherfucker flat?
It's flat.
Hey, talking about cricket. Hey, cricket, cut it the fuck out too. Okay. Why is your baseball bat flat?
Exactly. Bro.
I feel like you're that person at prom that wore pastel color because you want it to be different. Okay.
Ooh.
Get it together. Okay,
Talking about
cricket. First of all, you're named after a phone company. Okay, that's number one. All right.
Hey, which by the way, cricket, you want to
No,
sponsor us?
shout out
hit
cricket.
us up. Hit us up.
Cricket. Hey, listen about cricket. The phone company. We rock with you. You've been there through the hard times. Okay, cricket. Dear Cricket Mobile.
Hold on, my camera died. Let me put a new battery in it.
It's all good. Cricket. Listen, we love you. Okay, when we couldn't afford Sprint, when we couldn't afford Nextel, when we couldn't afford T-Mobile, when we couldn't afford U.S. Cellular. Okay, Cricket, you were there. All right? We love you. Don't ever think that we don't love you because you put in the time. You put in the effort.
Hilarious.
Okay?
Okay. All right. Okay.
$55 got me through. Okay? It means something to me. Okay? But the sport, you're a fucking joke. And somebody got to tell you. You got a flat back. I don't even know. It just sounds ridiculous. Okay? You got a flat back. You don't hit it far. You run around. I don't even know what you do when you hit it with the flat back. That's how ridiculous y'all look.
Next episode, we got to watch a video of how to play cricket and react live. That's going to be hilarious. Anyways.
Dear Cricket, we're sorry in advance because we're going to be laughing.
I'm crying. All right. Last topic of the show. Tesla profits are down 71% last quarter. Elon claims he will be stepping back from politics in the Doge department, even though he was never elected to anything. What's your thoughts? And I know you want to talk about Democrats too, so we can wind all this up in the same thing.
Hey, listen, man.
There's a lot of shakeup going on within 3 months of this presidency.
Hey,
Elon, call that man Eli.
Hey, fuck around and found out, didn't you? Okay? Hey, man. Hey, check it out, my boy. Okay? Sunshine on a dog ass every now and then, don't it? Okay? The shareholders got you right, didn't they? Okay? You up there just doging everything the fuck up, huh? You thought it was sweet. You know what? What I love about this, man, is for like a solid quarter, you were just doging shit. You hear me? You was just out there just dozing it the fuck up. But you know what happened? Okay? You got back to that shareholders call. Everybody knew you get your ass spanked. You done pissed off China. All of your sales was coming from blue states. You pissed off them. That's the thing, man. I'm not gonna lie. People can say I don't like capitalism, blah, blah, blah. But every now and then, it's an ass whooping that happens, okay? Elon, we saw you getting jumped in the club. We didn't do shit. We said, you know what? You shouldn't have pissed him off. Okay? That's what happened, man. Okay? On that earnings call, now you're taking a step. Listen to me. Everybody out there, professionally, when you hear a motherfucker say they taking a step back, they done fucked up. Okay? They hand got caught in the cookie jar. When he said, I'm taking a step back, boy, your ass getting handed to you. Okay? All right? What them Atlanta motherfuckers say? Lame as hell, boy, okay? You're goofy, all right? If we had a donkey of the day, you'd be the donkey of the quarter, you goofy ass motherfucker. What are you talking about? Now you sit back, gotta walk back everything. Because you're beholden to your shareholders, man. What's wrong with you? Get gone.
What's wrong with him is he ain't never had no sauce, never had no swag, and
never.
And you can't take people. Look. You may not like Donald Trump, but he got some sauce and some swag enough for these idiots to believe him. I don't even think the people that like Elon was like, yeah, Elon, let's go. So just it is what it is. But you want to nominate a Dreamer of the Week, this is a new segment. I'm like, what is that? So go ahead. Let's talk to us. What's the Dreamer of the Week?
Hey, man, listen, man. The Dreamer of the Week is really just about something that caught my eye that I want to lift up. And I have to. I think that, I would be remiss if I didn't, just uplift Deontay Kyle and the Grits and Eggs podcast as Dreamer of the Week, man, because, TPJ, I didn't tell you, but like hearing Deontay Kyle on the mic really motivated me to get on the mic. And it's not to say it's the same thing, you know what I mean? Like I think he's really speaking truth to power. And he talking that talk, man. Him and Big Cat, you know what I mean? Shout out to Big Cat, you know what I'm saying? The Gullah Gullah joint, you know what I'm saying? Like I really followed him, man, but just because I think it takes a lot to really express yourself, to really be able to give a coherent thought and speak on topic, man. And the wisdom and the love and the joy and the direction that the Grits and Eggs podcast have with Deontay Cal, it's beautiful, man. And so I wanted to shout them out because I think also I always want to make sure that now, as I'm living day in and day out, I'm giving the flowers that's supposed to be gave. You know what I mean? And I think that, when somebody and an entity motivates you to get on the mic, when they motivate you to be able to live in your power, when they motivate you to speak, you got to make sure you shout them out. So, man, shout out Deontay Cal, Chris and Ed's podcast doing crazy. I'm just letting y'all know right now, changing the game. Like literally changing the game. It is literally the same feeling I got when I first heard LaRussell. It's different. It feels good, man. And I'm so honored to just listen to him, honestly. So, man, shout out to Deontay Cal and the Grits and Eggs podcast for being the Dreamers of the Week, man.
I like that. Shout out to them. Now, we got a lesson of the week. What's your lesson of the week, Mr. Dion?
Hey, man, listen, man. Lesson of the week, man, is leadership ain't loud. It's consistent. And when you think about, leadership, there's so many different leaders out there. So many different leaders, there's so many different styles. But, some of the great leaders do have in common their consistency. Because the beautiful thing about, starting something and growing it and creating jobs and, having team members and employees and really building something bigger than yourself is you got to be consistent. And when we think about, what's required as a company, regardless of, what you know about Pepsi, you believe that Pepsi is moving day in and day out. When you think about Coca-Cola, you know what I mean? When you think about Nestle, when you think about Twizzler, when you think about Cheetos, when you think about, all of these American brands or any brands, you never assume that they're stopping. You assume that day in and day out, they have that consistency. And that's what, this lesson of the week is about. It's not about being loud. It's about being consistent. And so when you think about, your week, acknowledge that, in order for you to be an amazing leader, you got to be consistent. Because it's not just about you. It's about everybody you serve, all of your customers, all of your clients, all of your community, all of your family. It's bigger than you. It's not loud. It's consistent, man. What about you?
My lesson of the week is get the fuck off ChatGPT and create your own ideas. I get it if you want to use the spell check, maybe fact check from time to time. But if you just putting in your ideas in the ChatGPT and telling it to build some shit for you, you're not going to build nothing worthwhile. Everything that you need to build that's worthwhile has to come from some level of something within your soul. And just because you have an idea doesn't mean you should amalgamate what the internet thinks and take that idea and make it that thing. So that's my thing. Get the fuck off ChatGPT. Flush your ideas out on a notepad or on paper or on your notes first. Then go in there, have it clean it up afterwards. Dion, let's go ahead, get ready to get out of here. Talk to us. Affirmation of the week, my brother.
Affirmation of the week. After that, I'm freestyling because I'm freestyle. I feel like freestyle. That's what happens when you have a sip. Affirmation of the week. Listen to me and repeat after me. I will show up even when no one is clapping. Because it's not about clapping. I will show up even if no one is clapping. It's not to say they won't clap. It's not to say that product will not elicit clapping. But showing up is not about the people that clap for you. Showing up is something that is intrusive to you. Something that comes from within. You show up because you know you need to show up. You need to show up to be able to accountable. You need to show up to be consistent. You need to show up to move the ball, to move the chains. That's what it's about. So this week, I need you to show up, not because of somebody that's clapping for you, but you need to show up because that's the right thing to do.
I love
Affirmation of the
that.
week.
I love that. Wise words from a wise man. My camera about to die. Been a great episode, action packed, very, very funny. What did we say was gonna name this one again?
I can't remember. You gonna remember it. It got something to do. Oh, it said why you so kinky, bro.
Oh yeah, why you so kinky, bro? Shout out to Shannon Sharpe, man. My camera just went dark.
It's all good. It don't matter.
Hey, we'll get up with y'all next time, man. Chief Dreamer Podcast. Much love. Y'all see how this how my webcam looked.
Hey, I got a spark.
All right, let's go. Yeah,
Kevin Hart.
We gotta go. We'll get up with y'all
that
later.
Man